Hi, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute since I talked about my journey to wholesale, but I am back with another one. Not necessarily wholesale completely, but to talk about my antique shop. I am going to do a video reviewing my first month. At this point, I'm kind of into my second month, so I know I've been behind. So I'll do a video addressing how much I've made, because I'm in two different stores, but how much I made in each store. So we'll do that. But right now what I'm doing is prepping some soap bars to be taken over to the first store. So there's two stores. The first one I like, the second one not so much. But like I said, we'll get into that. So I'm using my Eco Craft paper, which is just how I normally wrap my soap. I got my honey and oatmeal soap bars, so I'm just gonna wrap them. I wanted to like focus on sea moss soap bars for both of those stores, and so I made sea moss soap bars. I made lavender and I made lemongrass, turmeric lemongrass. So I wanted to just stick with those two, kind of see how it does, and they actually did a lot better than I thought they would. And I unfortunately didn't adequately prepare for that. So, I was talking to my husband and I was telling him that I believe that sometimes that God doesn't give you things that he doesn't think that, or that he knows that you can't handle. And I said, right now I just can't handle being viral, because I can't even handle keeping a store fully stocked, and it's not like it requires much. So I have like these cute little, I call them my Nicole molds. I've spoken about them before. They're these 1 pound loaf molds. They're my mini soap bars. It's what I use to make all my mini soap bars. That's what I wanted to stick to for making these sea moss soap bars, because I wanted them to be affordable. So they are $5 each, and they're smaller bars, like more so like hand size, like very small, just sits in their rectangle. Actually, I'm telling you about it to show you. So this is how it looks. You see how it just kind of fits in your hand. So that's what they are. And so when I made them, I believe I made 14 of each bar. So 14 lemongrass, 14 lavender. Lavender gone. Lavender was like, bye-bye, girl. Lavender is gone. Sea moss, I have 3 remaining left. Now, I think there are a few at the store. Like, there may be 2 or 3 lemongrass ones at the store. So this will just be adding to it. But the lavender never made it to the store, because I did a market at a church. And let me tell y'all, I'm just gonna tell y'all, that was probably the most I've ever made at a market. And I've been in business for almost 3 years. So it's like I'm almost kind of embarrassed, but it's the sad truth of it all. Like, that's the most I've ever made at a market, and it was a little shy of $200. Like, the church was so overwhelmingly supportive. The event started at 10 a.m. and I was there, of course, at like 9. I always try to come an hour before. It only takes me about 30 minutes to set up my table, but I come an hour before just so I can sit down, check out all the other vendors and everything. So yeah, I was there at 9 o'clock. People started buying soap at like 9:30. I wasn't even like fully set up when individuals just started buying soap, which was really cool. It delayed, my setting up. But so I put the lavenders out there. All 14 of those bars magically disappeared. Like they were all purchased. And then I'll do like a before picture, like a setup picture, and then an after setup picture, because God is good, y'all. God is, which I already knew that, but let me tell y'all, I was so like overwhelmed with like happiness and gratefulness, because they really came through. The attendees for the event, it was like the church's spring, I don't want to call it fling, I forget what it was called, but I'll put a flyer up, but it was spring something, and they really came in and showed out. Shout out to Melbourne, Florida, for really coming through. So I sold I sold all the lavender, so the lavender never made it to the store. But the lemongrass did. But the reason why I said that I'm not like obviously ready to go viral is because I only have 3 of these lemongrass left. I have no lavender. And I'm running low at the store, and you would think that I would have already made more soap bars, but I didn't. And I mean, like I said, part of the reason was because I don't want to make too much and then it doesn't sell, because that has been my experience with a lot of the soap bars. I make a lot and they don't sell. So then what I do is, for a while, I would put them on sale. Like I was putting these full like soap bars on sale for $5, I think at one point. I was selling them for $3 at the markets, not online. I think online, yeah, some of them I have done for $5, but like at the markets, I would go as low as $3. At one point, I was doing $1. Can y'all believe that? $1. Talk about like struggling. I was doing $1 for some of these big soap bars. And that's how I was getting them sold. But that, you know, clearly wasn't like really financially helpful for me, because it costs more than $1 to make each bar. But I just got to a point where I was just like, I need to just get them out of my inventory to make more room for other things, because I wanted to just try like different products. This is when I was, or different lines. This is when I was first starting the soap of the month. So this was maybe about a year ago when I was selling these bars for $1 at markets to get rid of them. Because I wanted to have a unique soap of the month, which shout out to my soap of the month supporters. I love y'all. All 3 of y'all. Y'all are like amazing. I really appreciate, you know, you guys rocking with me for this long, and I do hope that you truly enjoy the soap that you receive every month. I'm going to try to restructure it a little bit so that when I go viral, that it is positioned in a way that I can handle it, because I want it to be able to collect the soap of the month or money before the soap comes out. So like the April soap of the month, I'm thinking that you would have to join before like March 30th if I'm talking about an April soap of the month. But then it's also kind of like, because right now the way it's going, I'm going to be mailing out your April soap of the month bar like next week, and April's almost, well, will be like, it'll be like the second, third week, so April will almost be over, and I kind of would like for you to have it at the beginning of the month. So I need to try to figure out how to restructure that. And I think what's going to happen is those individuals that are in my soap of the month, for 1 month, you're probably going to get 2 soap bars. So you'll get like the bargain. You pay for 1, get 2, just so I can get everybody up on that schedule where you're getting that month's soap bar at the beginning of that month. So, and I may do that this month or next month. But that's the goal, because I want you, like April soap of the month, I want you to have it the first week of April. May soap of the month, I want you to have it the first week of May. So that's the plan. That's what I'm going to try to do. But anyways, back to this church market. It was really great. I'm very thankful for it. So try Jesus, y'all. Try Jesus. Yes. So right now, as far as like this journey to wholesale, yesterday I did go to a few hair salons to pass out my little packet. Let me show y'all my little packet. So what I did was, I have an envelope. I created a business card. So here's like the business card stuff. I just realized that my name ain't even on it, y'all. They don't even know my name, but they got all of my info. So they have like a phone number to reach me. They have the email addresses. They have the websites. And so I just stapled that to the envelope. And then inside, I put the brochure, the catalog first page, which is just like general. It just talks about the main products that I offer and the starting prices for those. And it also has my 2 websites, because I have 2 websites. I don't know if you guys know that. And the only reason why I have 2 websites is because one of them is for like my digital stuff. I made a free soap making class. Hopefully y'all have enrolled in it, because there's a lot of people enrolled in it. But I couldn't do that on my main website because it didn't have the capability. So I had to start a new website in order to do the class. So that's why I had the separate website. But then I was like, well, I don't just want like the class, because what if like this class goes viral, which honestly it did. And I said, well, what if like that goes viral and then like I don't have like any soap or any other products for them to buy because the class is free. So it's not like they're paying for the class. Maybe that's part of the reason why I went viral. So then I said I'm going to add some soap bars. I added some soap bars and people didn't really seem that interested in it. So I added some more digital products. And then I said, well, maybe I can just stick to like a specialty soap bar. So all of my SEMA soap bars, which is just 2, and they out of stock, regardless of what it say on their website. I said, you know, I'll just put those up there, and then that website will be for the SEMA soap bars and for all of my digital stuff. So you can sign up for the class, the in-person soap making class, or I also have an online, a live. So I have 3 soap making classes. I have the live soap making class, which is where you and I go into a private Zoom room and we make soap together. And so I get to watch you, as long as you got your camera positioned where I can see it, and you can ask questions as you are watching it. So it's not the same as a soap making course where you're just watching it as your leisure and you don't get to like really ask questions. I mean, I guess you could, but not on the spot, not right while you're in there in the moment. And then I get to see exactly what you're doing to give you tips on what you can change. So that's different because I don't know of anybody else that does that, to be honest. There may be somebody, I'm sure, because I'm not special. But I have that. Then I have the free online class. So that's what a lot of soap companies do. They have the online class, but it's not free. Mine is free. So take advantage of it. And it's going to be free forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever, forever, ever. Yes, forever. So you can join that. And then I have my in-person classes, which are held at the stores where my soap is. So check those out. But anyway, so that's why I have the two websites up there, because one of them is all my main soap bars and the other one's the CMOS plus the classes. The classes are actually on both websites, just so you know. But then I give them the options of how they can work with me. So they can work with me in doing wholesale or booth rental space. So like allow me to rent a booth space from them, or host a soap making class. So I think that's really cool that I have it there, like details on how to go about doing that. And then the final page is my price list. So I have just like my soap bars generally. And I have the prices as well as like my body oils, my bath salts, shower steamers. So I have all those things there. And I just package them up really nicely and put them in the envelope. And I give it to them with a sample soap bar. So when you have, let's see, do I have any of them up here? I don't know. Well, this is not really one of them, but you know, when you have like the end pieces, I mean, I guess I could make this into a sample because it's a smaller soap bar. But I just put like one of these into these with a general label that just talks about my ingredients in general. And then I hand that to them. And I did that yesterday I took it to 2 salons. I know I gave it to 3 businesses. So it was 2 salons and then a consignment shop. So hopefully one of those people will contact me. I know like one of the salons, she was very impressed. She really liked it. So I said, okay, this is good. Hopefully she gives me a call because her salon is so pretty. It's called Blush and it's all pink. And she gave me her business card. So I said, if anything, I'll start harassing her sometime next week if she does not call me back, to see if we can work out something. Because I think it would be really cool if I can get into like these hair salons and have the soap available for them, even if it's just like I'm paying for a booth space, you know. Either way, I think that would be really cool. So I did give it to those 3 businesses. I contacted a business called Smith Mercantile. When I looked it up, it seems like it's basically like an antique shop for like newer things, like what I do, like handmade craft type things. So I contacted them. They told me they had a waiting list. But when I mentioned what I make, she said, oh, the owner has been looking for a soap maker because they don't have anyone that makes soap. So she may move you up the list because she really would like a soap maker. So I'm definitely gonna be harassing them by Monday morning for sure, because they need me, I need them. Let's fulfill our needs here. So I'm gonna contact them Monday to see like what's going on, if they want me to come. I didn't go to the store yesterday. I planned to, but I didn't go. One, because it was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. But also because it was like a 40-minute drive and it's my birthday. I wasn't trying to like drive that far. So I just went to, like I say, those salons and handed out stuff there. This is my Southern Peach. And I've already cut up my labels so I can, or my cigar wrap label, so I can put those up there. And I'm almost done. So yeah, I'll be going to, so hopefully that mercantile place will work out and I can get in there. And I'll be doing a video on this first soap making class I did, because it was amazing, guys. I was so excited. I was nervous at first, but then it was like so exciting and everybody was so friendly, so I really loved it. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is finish wrapping up these soap bars and label them and head out to Melbourne to drop them off. And Melbourne is about an hour away from me. So that's the only thing that really sucks. That's why I was trying to get something local, is that I have to drive so far to these stores. But I needed to update the inventory because it's gonna look pretty empty without those Sea Moss soap bars. So I say, well, let me fill up some of this space with some of these other soap bars I have. Because I'm trying to keep my main website just centered around specific bars. So instead of doing like the new different bars, I'm gonna do collections instead, and those collections may be centered around the soap of the month. So, or what it'll probably be, a soap of the month will be separate, which again is like an exclusive bar. So I don't sell the soap of the month soap bars, the ones that I have left over. I do not sell those on my website. I do sell them at the markets, but I don't sell them on my website. So they're exclusive in that sense that, you know, you can't just buy them online. I think I'm done actually. Well, no, I gotta do my honey and oatmeal labels. Oh no, did I forget to print them? I think I did. Yeah, so I gotta print those. But so I have the soap of the month, which will be exclusive in that you can't buy it anywhere else online. And then I'll have collections. So I'll do like a spring collection, maybe summer collection. I've done that in the past, and honestly it wasn't too successful, so I'm kind of hesitant to do it. But I do want something fresh and new that's being added to my website. And then I'm also going to make enough so that I can add these to the store. The problem with why I haven't done it and like added it to the store is that I really need to sell the soap bars that are already at the store. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides the Sea Moss soap bars, the other soap bars aren't really moving that quickly. And it could be because of the way I package them, because you can't buy them individually. I will have these, like these Southern Peach. It's only 4 of them. I'll have them where you can buy them individually. I have some turmeric soap that you'll be able to buy individually. But the other soaps I package in sets of 3. So it's like 3 or none. So I don't know if maybe that's having an effect. There have been a few people that have purchased them, so they are working. You know, people are buying them. The same thing with the hemp oils. People are buying them. It's just not as quickly as I thought it would be. So I'll tell you what, the lather on them is going to be amazing, because like I always tell people, soap is like wine. It gets better with time. So the longer it sits and cures and gets that fresh air, the better the lather is. So when people do buy them soap bars, they're going to be like, this is amazing. Be like, yeah, and it would have been amazing if you would have bought it a month ago. But that's cool. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it there. But thank you guys for chatting with me. I got my flyers for my soap making course. So I'm going to, the in-person class, I'm going to be taking these to the store as well to put those out. And I'll see y'all on the next updates. Bye-bye.